Alrighty. Oh yeah, and if you guys, hey, what's up? Live from the ethers. That's why I put that song on, get us in the mood for what's up, Frank? If y'all appreciate the content, help support, keep it going. Throw something on the Cash App. I don't care if it's $1, $2, $3. Everything goes towards the business and supporting this content. So we're gonna do psychic shielding. I figured since we and I appreciate every single one of you. I figured since we did, yes, Ashe to the full moon. This full moon energy is lovely right now. I've been enjoying it. I woke up today with so much energy. A lot of people might have noticed that, let's pull a card. A lot of people may have noticed that the energy was a little off, but then it got better. It was like a lot was clearing away, and then by the time you hit this part of the week, let's see what the fuck Spirit has for us right now. By the time you hit this part of the week, it sort of tapered off. So yeah, let's see what we got for Warrior Wednesday, for my spiritual warriors coming through, getting the game, learning about psychic shielding, learning about how to protect your aura. We'll start with some crystals because this can be handled in a lot of different ways. I'm going to teach you guys some techniques. If somebody is pulling your energy in public, there's a technique that I use that as a woman it works really well, but there's a version of it that men can use as well. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about crystals. I'm going to see what Spirit has for me. I'm feeling like I should really pull one of these cards. And let's see what Spirit is feeling for Warrior Wednesday episode 1. Ooh, look, one came out right away. Let's see what we got. And these are the dragon deck. Oh, air and fire dragon. I'm only going to pull one. So we got the air and fire dragon. That's interesting. So it's creative energy, but you figure air, you're dealing with communication. Communicate your passion. So that's what the energy is. That's right in alignment with what I got for my reading for myself today. Y'all know, message me, or you can book through the website as well. If you would like a reading, if you need to get, your shit in alignment, because this is a group effort here. Okay, so I had to bring my energies together. Okay, first, some crystals that you can use for psychic shielding, obviously. A really good one is black tourmaline. Black tourmaline is highly protective. Black tourmaline is highly protective. Also black obsidian. And black obsidian really helps to absorb negative emotions and energies. Another technique that I've explained in the past, and this is just, we're not even getting into really the psychic stuff. This is the physical stuff that you can do to protect your aura, more like ritual type things. So you can wear those crystals, have them around, have pyramids of them. Pyramids work great because with pyramids you can create like nice little grids and stuff. You could even do a crystal grid. Let me see what Spirit is doing right now, because that's weird. That means that my video is probably fucking up. Oh no, we good. Okay. You can create a crystal grid around your space. You can take salt, put it in your hand, and charge it to just absorb. Oh, thank you. I got it as a Christmas present. So you can take sea salt, put it in your hand, especially when you have the large granules of it, or like you put it in your hand, charge it. You put it in the corners of your space, and by windows and doors and things like that. You can do windows that I usually crack the window open and I'll put a line of salt in front of it. I'm pretty sure last night somebody had been mad at a bitch, even though I don't give a fuck. And I heard it sounded like somebody was literally trying to open up the screen. Like it sounded like somebody was pulling it out. Man, this is how much I don't give a fuck. I heard that shit. I went the fuck right back to sleep. I did not care at all. So to protect your energy, those are a couple things that you can do. Another thing that helps to pull in, especially if you're living in a rough living situation, pull in is using a water bowl underneath your bed, and that also will enhance dreams. But I wouldn't use a salt water bowl, because this is a salt water bowl, and that just pulls in negative energies and entities. If you want to see if you have a lot of negative energy around you, use a dried herb or something like that. If that shit molds even in the water, because what'll happen is usually it'll stay pretty nice, but it'll just dry out. The water will dry out over like 2 weeks. It'll evaporate. But if you see stuff start to mold in that bowl, like fast, then you know you got an issue, and then you know you have someone either sending you something or some sort of spiritual attack, and that water bowl will actually pull in the energy. Another thing you can do is you take an index card and cut it in half, create a spiral, but make it like it's going in, like it's pulling the energy in. Don't, whether here it looks like it's that way, but for me it would be this way, where I would start out like that and I would draw it more in, and then I will put a dot in the center. You put that underneath the water bowl. I usually use a plate, water bowl, salt. If you feel called to put certain herbs in it, you might want to put some sage in there. Dried sage, obviously. You don't want to really put anything that isn't dried already in, because then it gets nasty. Or anything that's high in sugar, because then it'll get real nasty real fast, and you don't want that shit. You don't want to be breathing in fucking mold. So you do that, put that on like a bigger plate or whatever, the bowl. It should be glass too. And then this is an effortless way to just pull in energies, to pull in negative energy, especially in your bedroom, in your home office, in your living room, somewhere that you spend a lot of time in. Obviously, you can sage and things of that nature, but these are just little tips and tricks to keep the energy in your space the way that you want it. Also, playing certain frequencies. There's a really, let me see if I can find it really quick so I can put it in the chat for you guys. There's a really good frequency that I use quite often that helps to just sort of clear your own aura. So every time you feel a little heavy, take a couple breaths, throw this frequency on, and you're going to be chilling. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Yep. See, I knew it would be in here because I use it every couple days. I don't need it as much as I used to. Let me put this down because I don't want to hear myself right now. So I'm going to stick it here for you guys. There you go. It'll be in the chat. So that's quickly some of the stuff that you can do. Now, you want to get into the real psychic shielding. Okay, so these days, a lot, it's very easy, even for low-level people who are maybe not really that spiritual, that tapped in, that in tune to, it's really, really simple for them to spy on you psychically. Now, even the US government has used remote viewing and psychics. It's just very hush-hush. They don't speak about it often. So you should know that everyone is a psychic, that your abilities, as you heal from trauma, as you unblock your chakras, as you create more of a flow with your chi, whether you're doing qigong or yoga or just being active daily, using your breathing techniques, this stuff really helps your psychic abilities to grow. And I want to just give it advice, I guess I could say, that you guys do it little by little, you know, one step at a time. Don't rush things, because it's how people fucking go crazy and start bird boxing when there's a client that I've had through Instagram. This is a good example where he started getting downloads and his psychic ability started waking up really fast, except he didn't have the information. I believe when you get the information and lay down sort of the framework first before you awaken your Kundalini, like I've had a Kundalini awakening already about 2 years ago. So what happens is that because a lot of people are fed conspiracy theories, and there are a lot of spiritual teachers, right? Teachers promoting fear-based content. And people love fear-based content because the society is geared towards fear-based content, but we don't do that here because we are sovereign beings. So we claim our soul sovereignty over here. Okay, that's what me and my soul family does. We claim our sovereignty. We don't play no games. So what happened with this particular client is that he was having visions. He was seeing spirits. He was hearing voices. Like everything was opening up at one time. Thankfully, he came to me. I was able to let him know what was actually happening because he's searching videos and he's like, oh, I have this and this spirit. I'm like, dog, nothing's attacking you. All that's happening is that your spiritual energies are just waking up. Like, pull back a little bit, like relax. Anybody that feeds you fear, an archonic energy is working through them. And just be very careful when you listen to their words. They'll feed you Black empowerment, or they'll feed you something that makes you feel uplifted, and then they'll feed you fear, and then they don't give a solution to whatever problem that they introduced. So it serves to boost you up, right? This is how these archons work. They're going to boost you up, make you feel like you're the greatest thing ever, and then pull you down and make you feel like you're powerless. So it's like that up, down of that energy. Now that person's whole audience is food. Good job, guys. But like I said, we don't do that here. We're sovereign beings, and we claim our sovereignty. And we know that if there is a problem, Source always has a solution, right? Our own higher selves always has a solution. We don't deal with just problems. We deal with problems and solutions. And there is always a solution. So you have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear. And what makes like these Hotep, he called them niggers. Yeah, exactly. So what a lot of people fear is actually their own power, because like we know, listen, in Spider-Man, they said it, and I always use this stupid quote, and it's so damn cliche, but with great power comes what? Great responsibility. So when you choose to be sovereign, to really have soul sovereignty, you're choosing a path that, and this is the path of the spiritual warrior, because the spiritual warrior's path is a path to the self. So you're saying that I'm sovereign and that I respect other individuals' sovereignty. So you're not going to be as manipulative. You have certain honors and codes within your own self that you hold up for your own personal integrity. Nobody outside of you has to threaten you for you to be righteous. Really being righteous is not manipulating and not constantly lying to people and not feeding people this fear-based narrative. What personal integrity and being righteous is something that comes within the self. Nobody can really, you can learn it, but you have to, it has to come from within your own self. Like you can't be forced into it, because everybody has free will, and we are going to allow everyone to have free will because they deserve to. It's as simple as that. It's not more complicated than that. I respect your free will, you respect my free will. Now we understand that when we're empathic, we can feel how much we've hurt another person. So we'll tend to like pull back, or we won't want to hurt their feelings. And that's okay to a certain extent, as long as that person is not using your kindness or your compassion against you. Because kindness is that word kind of gives me a bad vibe. Because if kindness is like it's just kind. It's a kind. It still feels manipulative. Like if somebody's being kind to you, you're kind of like, what are you doing this for? Like, what's the purpose? I'll look at the etymology. There has to be a reason why that vibration comes up with that word. Compassion is a much better expansive word. Okay. So when you're out on the street, now this is some practical advice. Women have dealt with this a lot. These days, men probably dealing with it a lot more because women are off the goddamn chain. These women are off the chain now, and more power to them. But you know, you're standing in line at a store, some creepy ass guy is looking at you, and it makes you feel very uncomfortable. So what I do is I take on the energy of Sekhmet. I don't call on Sekhmet, I take on the energy. The that's sort of like what those entities were created for, with these gods, goddesses. They're created for you to be able to take on the energy so that you have a description of a specific type of energy that you can now step into and use as a vehicle. Just how your body is a vehicle, certain energies are vehicles. That, like, I might decide that I want to be in Sekhmet's energy one day, and I'll step into that vehicle or that energy. Even when you put on a crystal, think about it, the crystal affects your consciousness. So you're stepping into a new vehicle, you're stepping into a different aura, you're stepping into a different energy. So if I decide I want to be Sekhmet one day, I can do that all day. If I decide I want to take on the energy of Oshun that day, I can do a quick meditation, channel that, and then be in that energy and experience that energy for myself. Then I don't have to ask somebody to call Oshun for me. I know that I've already taken that energy on, and that I know I can relate to it as an aspect of my own divine nature. So if you want to take on, so what I'll do is I'll take on the Sekhmet energy, and I'll just imagine myself cutting their head off. That's also sort of like a Kali energy. This is why Kali has the heads around her neck, the severed heads. The heads actually represent severing the ego. So take your knives, cut the head off. And I swear I've done this so many times, and it's crazy. Like, I had some creepy dude standing right behind me, like just staring at me, and it was super gross. And I did the visualization, just imagine cutting his head off, and he literally stopped, walked, went to another line. Like, was right behind me on line, literally just stopped looking at me and walked to another line. So this is a technique that you can use to, because these energies too, sometimes it won't even be how you look. It'll be the fact that you have so much light. So that's what's drawing these people to you. You know, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. It's very rare to decide that you want to be a sovereign soul. So since many of you all are choosing to come with me on this path of reclaiming and claiming our soul sovereignty, you have to understand that you are very rare, and that there's not a lot like you. This is a tedious work, and this is only for the strong. Visualization is very key. So that's one thing that works. Also, if you want to go out and you really just don't want people bothering you, you can imagine a black aura around your actual aura and make it closer to your body. I mean, if you want to make it bigger, that's fine. But there's that you can do, and then you can just create the aura, the black aura around yourself, and people will tend to just leave you alone. Also, if you feel an energy coming in or an entity coming in, you can start by like this big and just visualize and put energy into. Now, what I'll do typically if I'm creating a particle, now this is like kind of weird, but you know, y'all know I'm into all the experiments and doing all the weird shit. So to create a particle, you take your hands like this and you just channel the energy from your heart. And you can, and it'll start. Now, as you just channel the energy, you allow whatever pictures that come to your mind to come, and you'll actually start seeing what it is you're creating. You're an original soul. You're a titan. You're primordial. So this is nothing for you. This is practice, because you're not used to using the physical body to do this. Normally, you can do it without the physical body, and it's instant. But you start doing it that way, that teaches you how to work with energy. Then you can come out and create an actual shield in front of yourself. You want shield. If you want a shield that just is over the skin of your body, you can create a shield like that. If you want a shield that comes out of your hand, where you can just push an energy back, push a person back. The same way how when someone's about to fight, there's always that one person that or you know, there's always that one person that knows how to just go like this, and people just leave them alone, and you're like, what the fuck? And it's because they're using energy to push them. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Calm down. The other person. They act like something hit them. Nothing hit them. That person projected their energy. That's all that was really going on. So now to shield your mind can be more complicated. If you're going to shield your mind, you have to know when a thought isn't yours. Then you can, and so to do this, to know when a thought isn't yours, to know when a thought is being implanted, or when an entity is actually trying to implant a thought within you. To do that, you have to learn to observe your thoughts. And also, in The Alchemist is why they talk about it so much, but you actually need to learn the language of your heart and spend more time in the heart chakra. Whether you get a nice rose quartz, wear that, meditate with it, learn your heart chakra. And it's funny too, talking about the heart chakra, and I'm wearing the heart pendant. And that was not on purpose, because I obviously didn't know I was going to be talking about this. I thought I was just going to do regular psychic shielding. But y'all know these topics, they go everywhere. Oh yeah, once again, if you guys appreciate the information, be sure to throw something on the Cash App. Cash code EmpressisabelMontero. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so with the psychic shielding, oh, I'm feeling something right here. So you can learn the language of your heart. And you can literally play with this looks weird as fuck, I know it does, but it feels really good right now. You can play with the energy in your heart chakra if you want to learn your heart chakra, doing heart chakra meditations. Understanding your triggers really helps with this. Hey, Tony, welcome to the stream. Understanding your triggers really helps with this. Understanding, what else? So we have that, and then observing your thoughts, because all day there's thoughts coming in and out of your head. And I really believe that the pineal gland is a cosmic receiver. So it receives ideas, thoughts, concepts, even from our own higher selves. And I believe that the soul, for my studying, I really think the soul actually comes through the heart chakra. I don't believe that the soul lives in the body anywhere. Almost like a black hole or like a portal would be in your heart chakra, and the soul would come into the body that way. What's animating the body is actually your chi, or your life force energy, and that's down in your sacral. That's why women, not all women, but some women, if they have a whole bunch of kids, probably it's the kids stressing them out, but they might look not as vibrant, not as, you know what I mean, not as like alive, not as like and part of that is the stress of just having kids. But when you have children, you're literally taking a piece of your own essence, your own soul, and creating life. Another thing that you can do for psychic shielding is you can create entities from your own soul. Now, a lot of people, I've created some entities that actually can protect me, or I can ask them to do certain things and whatever, and they'll go and do what I need them to do in the astral, because sometimes you're just too busy. You got other things down here you got to do. You can't be in all these realities at one time. So sometimes you need helpers. So I created a couple helpers for me. So people will use servitors or servitors or whatever. Those are bullshit. That's old magic. That's old magic. The new shit is laying your ass down in your bed and imagining an aspect of your own soul coming up and out of your body. That way you're creating a complete being that actually has a soul of its own, not just like a little puppet. Like a little puppet, that's like demiurge magic. The real shit is literally that all the beings I have created I purposely gave them their own souls, which means they can do what they want to do, but they're still my children. And typically, because they honor their mother, they come when I call them. And they'll come back to you and be different. They'll have experiences as you start to get to learn the entities that you create intimately. They change over time, and that's fine. They're supposed to change. You don't stay the same, do you? No. So that particular energy changes as well. Nobody really does this, and I can't understand why. I mean, if you want to just create a little weak ass servitor, that's cool, but I'd rather create an entity that actually has its own soul, not just some shit that's a little fucking puppet on a string. I want an entity that has some power behind it and that comes from where I come from. Very rarely in sessions have I had to actually go all the way to my higher self to remove an entity from someone's body or auric field. There was one time, two times actually, where I couldn't use my helpers, because usually I could just use my dragons or I can use one of my entities or whatever, and that would clear it. And I'll just direct them and, you know, easy stuff. But yes, they do, Frank, they do evolve just like you. See, Frank is on it. Frank, you probably created a couple yourself for you to even know that. So these higher level entities, even the ones that are in the ninth dimension, they don't know what they're doing all the time. Like, they have no concept of good and evil. They can still be parasitic. They can still attach themselves to you, and it ends up being more like a sludge or like a slime or like a plasma, not an actual entity. It doesn't actually have a voice. It doesn't actually speak. But when you have one of these entities attached to you, it's a very high level entity. So to get rid of it, it takes a lot of chanting. I do it pretty quick though. And sometimes it leaves residuals. Now the thing is, if the individual themselves is not doing the work to heal, that entity can come back. The Bible even says it. See, the Bible actually was talking some good shit here and there when they weren't trying to program you into fucking worshiping the demiurge. Because they say when you can get rid of when you're casting out demons, or when you're casting out these entities, you cast out one, then the house or the body, the auric field is clean, and then they come back with a few more. So the way that you seal your auric field, first of all, whenever I do a cord cutting, when I cut the cord, I also, because I can take on other people's energy fields and auras as my own, I will do energy work on myself, and I will actually close where we created a hole or rift in the field. And I do that because wherever there is a void, it must be filled. That's just the nature of creation. Wherever there's a void, it must be filled. So something, you don't want just anything coming in, so you fill it in with your own energy and your own aura. So in order to not have an entity like that come back or want to re-inhabit, you have to actually actively be creating a shift or a change in your reality. So it takes a little work. And sometimes I wish people came back and we can do little sessions. I don't know, maybe I should come up with something where people can purchase like 5 sessions for a specific kind of work. I've got it. Just liking hearing happy someone else makes more authentic. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Frank. I'm happy that you're doing it. Like, not everybody does the work like this. Oh shit, Aisha's here. We're gonna give a round of applause. My sis made it. Thank you for being here, sis. So yeah, that's basically how that works. You have to create a true shift. Sometimes that involves, it's not a change, it's more of a shift. It's more of a transformation. It's more of an unveiling. It's more of a getting back to self sort of feeling, sort of thing that happens is getting back to self. And what you're doing is you're clearing everything that would have caused something like that. Because a lot of times when you get a parasite attached to you, it's connected with a specific event. And typically, and when you are a high level, a high vibrating being, you get higher level entities attached to you. Isn't that exciting? I love it because it gives me something to do. And I love destroying things. I get into my, y'all don't even know. I totally understand. Kali's bloodlust was not actual bloodlust. What it is it feels so good to destroy. It's like, it feels so, look, my third eye just got stimulated. It feels so good to destroy, especially as a spiritual warrior. One of our favorite things we'll do when we start really going into battle and that'll be next week's episode. We'll do going into spiritual battles and what it's like to battle spiritual entities. We'll do that in next week's episode. This week, I just wanted to talk about actual shielding and what you can do on a practical basis every day to really protect yourself and your aura. Also, doing a quick salt, either a salt shower where you put the salt on you, release into it, and then step into the water. That will help. Salt baths once or twice a week will help keep your aura clear. Sea salt and Epsom salts are really good. I'm going to be unveiling actually a line of baths. I want to have it done before the holidays, so that's really exciting because I didn't realize, like, the more that I created all these different baths, the more I realized how thorough they were, and I just wanted to have the ability to share them with you guys. So I'm getting things together. I'm hoping within the next couple weeks I can have a couple of them already packaged up and ready to go, and we can launch the Empress Isabel Spiritual Bath product line, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. I am. Tornada, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. What's up, Kali? Yeah, exactly. And I actually got the idea to do it like about a month or so ago, but I decided that I would wait because I really sat down. I literally drew pictures of what I want everything to look like. I got the measurements. I'm gonna have to get a scale. I know I have to get labels. I want to do them in like big mason jars, but that might be expensive, so I might have to start with like plastic and then move to the mason jars. But we'll see how it goes, because I like the idea of mason jars because then you can make your own spiritual baths in them. And if you even want to recreate the bath that I send you, you can do that. Like, it makes it more, just more fun. Yeah, but some of the stuff I'm putting in there, other people have never put. So it'll be fun. Hopefully people don't steal my ideas, but when you're brilliant, people bite. What are you going to do, right? I'm back. Had to go play the lottery. Oh, well, if you win something, you owe me. I want, let's see. If you win something, I just want like 5%. I don't care if it's like $2. If it's $2, 5% is good. Yeah, so that's psychic shielding in a nutshell. Do you guys have any questions about psychic shielding or being a psychic warrior? Anything pertaining to your path, or anything like that? Yeah, I'm trying to get these coins. All right, quick. So I'm trying to think about if there's anything else I have at this time. Yeah, I'm ready to do some sessions this week. Like, I'm excited. I got books coming. I got mad shit coming for you guys. It's just going to take a little time and a little planning to get it all together. All right. I'm going to give you guys another minute or two. If you got a question, ask it. If not, I'm going to get off the stream. Melanie Moon. Yes, keep working on your heart chakra, sis. For you, oh God, look, Spirit started. For you, you should be Spirit is saying to work on your sacral. I started getting channels like right away. I just looked at your name and it was like channels. If you don't mind me saying on the live stream, you had some relationships or some things that had happened, and you deserve a lot better. But yes, all right, you're pulling back. It's cool. I don't want to put your business out there, but I already started getting the channel. I am free on Friday. I don't have anything planned. Personal reading is 60, but I keep everything like pretty much the same. 60, that's also for cord cutting. In an intuitive reading, if you have an entity, I do chakra work, and I will clear the entity from your aura. There's no extra fee for that. And then I also will help you balance your chakras as well. Because when I read the chakras, I can balance. That's a chakra reading, but everything that I do, it's not just a reading. It's we do real work. If you need to connect, if it comes up that you need to connect with your child self, I'll see your trauma. So, and if it comes up that past life is what's hindering you in this life, that comes up. I've seen people's trauma. I've seen people's futures. I've seen people's past. I see a lot. And it gives me the information that I need, because all of this information is actually stored within your subtle energy body. And when you become good at reading the subtle energy body, because the only reason why I'm so good at it is because I love you. Like, I love your soul. That's what Spirit is telling me right now. Why do I love this so much? Because you love souls. So that's why I do what I do, because I want what I have, and I want all of us to ascend together. I want all of us to claim our soul sovereignty. I want all of us to do great things in this world. I think that all of us deserve it. I want to connect with myself. Okay, procrastinating is an issue with your solar plexus. So let's see, Khadija Muhammad. Your solar plexus is going to the right a little bit. I want to say that's more feminine, because mine typically goes the other way to the left, masculine, and then I have to balance it in the middle. So you probably get really lazy, or like to just relax, or are very good at being receptive. So for you, start to work on, the rest of you guys' energies are coming in. For you specifically, start to work on centering the solar plexus. And there's something else. There's something, it might be a memory or something. Something is blocking, not blocking, but it just has the solar plexus a little bit out of alignment. It might be a limiting belief. Okay, so yeah, you want the rest of that, just book a reading. The Galactic Federation of Light is just the Archons, for real. There's no light police. Okay, so check this out. There are entities that like to eat meals just like you like to eat steak, except your physical body is the steak, and they're just coming in to get a meal, so they don't know any better. And then there are entities that are overarching, that run certain things on the planet, that keep things in alignment. That's not really a bad thing unless you allow it to rule you. You can also work within the energy and transcend above it. So don't ever look at anything like it's final or fatal. Look at it from a balanced perspective from both sides. If that's something that you feel that you need to research on and study and understand, then by all means do it. I don't personally feel like anything can rule me. I rule myself. And I know where I'm from, and it's primordial, so it has nothing to do really with this realm where I'm from. My higher self just wanted to, I don't know, learn some shit, come through, was probably bored one day and just decided Earth would be cool. Hey, what's up, Keen? Thank you for coming. Oh, thank you, Frank. All right. And message me after this, Frank. Let's set something up. Tornado, if you need a reading, hit me up. Melanie, I want to work with you. Hit me up as well. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was speaking more so entities that try to keep things in a higher order. Well, you need entities to keep things in order. Otherwise, shit would just be all over the place, and then there wouldn't be an Earth. It would just be like a floating abyss, or a fucking just, it would be like a mishmash of just random energies. The fact that anything has structure means that something had to be ordered. So there's also, you have the matrix that's not real, and then you have the creatrix, which is more from source, from the divine mother, the great mother, because the masculine and feminine, everything at the end of the day is feminine. Masculine is an aspect of the feminine, the greater feminine or androgynous energy that we're all born from. and that's like a whole nother, I'm not even going to go crazy with that. That's a whole nother story. We'll do that on, I don't know, probably a Tuesday or something. We'll talk about that. Yeah, whatever you believe is what it is, though. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, whatever you believe is what it is, because you have free will, and because this is only a matrix. It's only ones and zeros, so you can manipulate your reality. If anybody wants the PDF for hidden language codes, I made the PDF myself, so you can't really get it anywhere else. That PDF, I know that the man who wrote it had wanted it out, and had wanted it out and widely distributed with a lot of people. So if you guys, it's a great book. I might actually need to go and buy the actual book, but I don't know who owns the rights to it now. It might not be his family, because it's just so well guarded. I'm like, not sure about this. But if anybody wants that so that they can learn how to sort of use their words, just message me and I'll send it over to you right away. Okay, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. As usual, thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning into the message. Thank you for coming together as a soul family. Like, this is what this is about. Like, it's about us coming together and getting into our higher nature together. It's about us learning, because I learned from you guys as much as you guys learned from me. This is a journey of us doing this together. Nobody's opinion is stupid. Nobody's opinion is, invalidated. Everybody has a say, and the more minds that come together to shape the message, the better it becomes, especially when I have minds and souls as beautiful and as sharp as yours here to work with me in creating a new reality. This could be the beginning of something phenomenal, epic, amazing. You never know where it's going to go, so let's just go wherever our souls take us. Aquan, you came late. I love you, Erica. I loved you since we were kids. Take care, guys. Mwah.